Ed, you got the news today that in the arbitration hearing you went to with your young hurler, Wandy Rodriguez, you guys came out on top. Sometimes that can be some bad vibes when you actually have to get into the arbitration process and into the room and argue the case. Have you had a chance to talk with Wandy yet and assuade any fears he may have that the organization doesn't love him?
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to Wandy before. We actually set a deadline for a week after the numbers were exchanged, and I talked to Wandy before we reached that deadline, and told him that we'd really love to be able to settle the thing. Unfortunately, we didn't get there, and then I did talk to him after the hearing yesterday, and I said, look, no matter which way the decision goes, tomorrow it's about baseball, and I teased him a little bit about being on time on Saturday for our first work. There's always the risk that a player may harbor some ill feelings going through the process. I can tell you, and as Jim can attest, it's a fairly sophisticated baseball debate, and there's not a lot of negativity attached to it. But you can't avoid the process simply because you're concerned that there may be some hard feelings on the part of the player. And I really don't think that's going to be the case with Wandy. He's a great kid. Obviously, a $5 million salary is not insignificant. It's a healthy raise for him, and we hope he has another season like he did for us in 2009, where we're talking about bigger numbers next year.
There's still some free agents, some decent players, some very good players actually, that played elsewhere and haven't come up with a new landing spot yet. If there's an aspect to your team, positionally, depth, wherever, that you think that you are still out there scouring and looking a little bit that you'd like to add to, what would you say that is right now?
Well, it's always everybody's looking for pitching still, and we've been very candid with regard to where we stand from a payroll perspective in Houston. We're taking the payroll south. We were about $107 million last year, which is a lot of money, and we're taking it down to 93, which is still a lot of money. But we're committed on some pretty big multi-year contracts that eat up a large chunk of that. So we've got marginal dollars left to spend. If the right thing came down the pike, I'm sure that we would try to extend ourselves to do something. But realistically, Jody, at this point, knock on wood, we're hoping to come into spring training healthy. We're hoping to leave spring training healthy, and give chances to the guys that we picked up during the off season and some of the younger kids coming through the system.